Daddy, why is she sleeping here? The little voice pierced through the quiet night like a bell, tugging at my heart. I turned to see my 5-year-old daughter, Emily, pointing at a woman curled up on the cold bench outside the convenience store. Her small hand clutched mine tighter, her big brown eyes blinking with innocent confusion. The woman looked so fragile, like a porcelain doll left out in the rain. Her clothes were worn out, her hair messy, and yet, there was something about her. Something that made me stop. We had just left the store after grabbing Emily's favorite chocolate milk. I should have walked away. I had no reason to stop. I was a busy man, a single dad trying to balance work and fatherhood after losing my wife 2 years ago. My life had no room for strangers, especially broken strangers. But Emily wouldn't let go of my hand. Daddy, she looks cold, she whispered, her voice trembling like she was about to cry. I crouched down to her level, brushing a strand of hair from her forehead. Sweetheart, sometimes grown-ups make choices that put them in hard places. It's complicated. Emily frowned. But we can help, right? Her words hit me like a punch. Help. I was barely holding myself together most days. But those eyes, my daughter's hopeful eyes, made it impossible to say no. I sighed and walked over. Ma'am, are you okay? My voice was soft, careful. The woman stirred, blinking up at me like she was waking from a nightmare. Her eyes were tired, red from crying. I'm fine, she whispered, but her voice cracked. Her lips were pale, trembling from the cold. Emily knelt beside her, tiny boots tapping the pavement. Hi, I'm Emily, she said with the sweetest smile. Do you wanna come with us? Daddy makes the best pancakes. The woman's eyes filled with tears instantly, and that was the moment I realized she wasn't fine. She wasn't anywhere close to fine. I hesitated. Bringing a stranger home, every logical part of me screamed no. But the father in me, the human in me, couldn't leave her here. Look, I said gently, it's freezing out here. I can take you somewhere warm. No questions. Just, come on. She stared at me for what felt like forever. Then, slowly, she nodded. The drive home was quiet. Emily hummed softly in the back seat, holding her stuffed bunny. The woman, her name was Lily, I learned, sat silently, staring out the window like she was afraid to exist. When we got to the house, I gave her some of my late wife's old clothes and a warm blanket. She thanked me in a voice so fragile I almost couldn't hear it. Over the next few days, something changed. Lily started opening up, little by little. She told me she used to be a teacher. Life was good, until it wasn't. She lost her job, then her apartment. She had no family to call, no one who cared. She said the hardest part wasn't the hunger, or the cold nights, it was feeling invisible. Like no one in the world even noticed she existed. And as she spoke, I realized how close I'd come to walking away. How many people had walked past her before me, pretending she wasn't there. Emily adored her. They baked cookies together, painted pictures, laughed. For the first time in a long time, the house felt warm again. Alive again. In me, I started seeing something in Lily too. Not just the pain she carried, but the strength. The kindness that still lived in her despite everything. One evening, as I tucked Emily into bed, she looked up at me with sleepy eyes and whispered, Daddy, you're a hero. I smiled, brushing her hair back. No, baby, I'm just a guy who listened to his daughter. Months later, Lily found a job. She got back on her feet. But before she left, she hugged me with tears in her eyes and said, thank you for seeing me when no one else did. That night, after Emily fell asleep, I sat there thinking about how one small question, one innocent voice, changed everything. Daddy, why is she sleeping here? Sometimes, we think we can't make a difference because the world's problems are too big. But sometimes, all it takes is a little kindness. A warm place. A second chance. If you ever see someone struggling, remember this, you might be the only person who stops. The only person who cares. And that can change a life. Because that night, it changed mine too.